Leviatán just made some of the worst moves in Valorant history, and if you stick around, I will prove that to you. See, we all know about Demon1, right? Great player, fell off a little bit on NRG. I think everyone can admit that, but still a great player nonetheless. On Lev, he was looking like he was struggling until the last game that they played against MIBR. He looked good. Not great, not near his 2023 form, but like a good, solid duelist. Then Leviatán decided that we can't have any fun. We can't actually try and win the game, and did a series of roster moves that I believe will probably end up in Demon1's retirement. Let me explain. They brought in Rossi, someone who'd been kicked from C9 in exchange for a tank. Now, I'm not even going to say that that move was bad because Rossi has looked good. His IGLing, they moved him to IGL instead of King, has looked good. Not going to complain about that move. They said a tank had internal issues. I'll take them at their word. But then they put King, their former IGL, a former Smokes player, a guy who, hasn't played Duelist at the professional level in 2 years, on Duelist. Not only Duelist, but Yoru. He's played 9 games of Yoru. And you might be thinking, oh, well, that's not that bad. I was talking about his ranked stats. He hasn't played Yoru at the pro level before this at all. He plays 9 ranked games of Yoru, goes on the full-time Duelist, and Demon1 on full-time Smokes, which Solo Viper on Icebox I promise I'll talk about, because that had me literally screaming into my pillow until my vocal cords could not take it anymore. When I was watching this live, I watch all the games live, join the Discord, link in the description to get pinged for that. When I was watching it live, I literally, after that, had to stop because I was screaming so hard from just the absolute insanity. Just the insanely stupid things that Leviatán are doing. But that's not all. Not only is it Solo Smokes, they played Split and Icebox. Aspas played Jet on Split and Icebox, and they won. I would be completely fine with Demon1 moving to the Smokes role on Raze maps. That makes sense. That's what I was calling for. But to take the guy that has had the highest peak on Jet of all time against competition who can actually shoot back, sorry, Tens Glazers, and then put him on, again, not only Smokes, but Solo Smokes on Icebox, which does not work. Half the time, it was literally this. He would throw this wall, and they would run an A with no smokes. Absolute cinema. Great game plan, guys. Then they have King play the Perma Yoru. So there are about 1 billion mistakes. So this video may end up being very long. It also may end up being very short because I'm truly fuming right now. So go ahead, subscribe, and lock in to watch one of the worst decisions in Valorant history unfold. Because this is a disaster class. It's not glue at this point. We're on the short bus. I could explain why Solo Viper on Icebox is so dumb in so many ways, but I'll do it in 2. Number 1. Leviatán have not played Solo Viper on Icebox since 2022. And you might be wondering, well, what comp are they running? The answer is the same one that MIBR is currently running that ends up destroying them in a huge comeback. And then my second way of showing you how beyond stupid having this Solo Viper is this. This clip right here from Aspas. See, if you had literally any other Smokes agent to pair with Viper, let's say, I don't know, Harbor, this wouldn't happen. But instead, Aspas gets a cool 1v4 clip because we don't have a Smokes agent that's able to stop his line of sight. So he gets this 1v4. We end up losing the game off of this, by the way. Keep in mind, the people that made MIBR's comp were Lev. We've been running this since 2023, and for some reason think Solo Viper will work. Solo Viper is an addiction that some teams have. Think of Furia and kickoff against NRG last year. Coaches go, it'd be so cool if we could do this. Maybe let's try running Solo Viper. And then everyone's like, well, has it ever worked? No, but this time it will. This time it won't! No, it won't! No, it won't! Stop deluding yourself, please! It never works. Especially when the same thing happens every time, especially on Icebox, where we throw this and we go A. Attack wasn't even the worst part of Lev's game plan. Because, clearly they were up 8-4, and it still was terrible and would have been dissected to pieces. Pieces if you knew about the Solo Viper pick. But again, I've talked about King's Yoru a little bit. I'll go maybe more in depth here as we get thriftied. Not thrifted, we lose our round. I'm just so pissed off. But King went, I believe, 5-16 on Yoru, which was worse than Demon1 on Lev. And the worst part about Demon1's Viper pick, right? The one good part, the one silver lining out of all that is you can go, okay, well, at least he can lurk on the Viper, right? At least he's going to be able to lurk. They didn't even trust him to do that. I believe he ended up lurking twice. One, he got a cleanup kill. One just didn't work out, but they normally just had Tex lurking because they didn't even trust Demon1 to lurk. The one thing that he's good at, what is he good at? Like, I'm not as delusional as you think I am. I know he has his strengths, he has his weaknesses. His strengths are insane jet player, great aim, although that's starting to be questionable, and he's a good lurker. But we aren't going to do the one thing that this role swap allows him to do, so what's the point? Look at what that Viper did. Look at what that Viper did, right? That's what he should be able to do. I do also want to say, I think Rossi was a good pickup. Like, his system has been good. His IGLing system has looked good. He's been able to frag. The issue is that Demon1 is in this system. Just cut him. Just cut him. Like, I'll go ahead and say it. You're putting King on Yoru. You're doing all these hula hoops, all these gymnastics. The reason that it's worth doing that for Demon1 is his skill, is what he can do for you on the duelist role. If you don't want him on the duelist role, cut him. Because I truly think, and I believe this, like in my heart, I believe this. I'm not saying this for views. I'm not saying this for clickbait. I'm not saying this for anything. I truly believe that Demon1 will either get dropped after stage 1 or at the end of this year, and then he will retire. He makes enough money from streaming, and I don't think he's going to go back down to tier 2, and I can't see another tier 1 team that wants him. I really can't. It's been 2 stints, and you have excuses, you have all that, but I cannot see another tier 1 team that will want him. I think this game will make Demon1 retire. But let's look into some of the even more mind-bogglingly stupid decisions here. Other than Solo Viper, other than putting a guy on Yoru on a jet map that we could have put Demon1 on jet, King on Viper, everything would have been fine. But other than all that, guy who hasn't played Duelist to the tier 1 level for 2 years, I know I keep repeating it, but it's just so like mind-bogglingly stupid, and it showed. Like this, if they scrimmed it or something, God, I hope they didn't, because otherwise they're just scrim warriors. They get destroyed in scrims every time. I know VCT scrims had some like crash out thing or whatever, but when they would post it, Lev literally asked to not be put on scrim bucks anymore because they sucked so bad in scrims. I don't know what we were seeing here from King that was supposed to be, oh, put him on Yoru, it'll work this time. And we've tweeted out that it's going to continue. Fire everyone. Burn the fucking organization to the ground. I'm not even going to start on Lev's attack because they did 8-4. It didn't feel like an 8-4, but they were 8-4. I'm not going to talk about all the issues with lurking. Instead, I'm going to talk about the issues with King's Yoru right here. So if you'll notice right here, as my PC is exploding because it doesn't want to watch this game, King is here on the Yoru. He TP's over here. I'm assuming the Viper wall got put up. There's not really a way to tell unless there's some way on the HUD I don't know about. So we have a harbor wall. Like let's fully process this. There is a harbor wall coming towards us. We hear Viper wall up on minimap, and we think, you know, Harbor has to be here for his wall, and Viper doesn't have to be there for her wall. You know, let me really think about this one. I'm just gonna TP anyways. He TPs, and guess what? Now, instead of a 3v5 where you might have had a chance, we now are down not only a TP, but down a player on the site. Now, the TP is probably more impactful than King. He went 5 and 17, but, you know, at least he could be there for moral support. But guess what? Tex, the only good player on this godforsaken team, someone saved this man. He gets a first blood, right? Good on him. Fun fact, Lev got more first bloods than MIBR, despite losing 8-13. I'm having a wonderful time. Watching Demon1 isn't an abusive relationship. I enjoy this. I have a great time. Anyways, Yoru's going to TP back. We're now out of our TPs, 30 seconds into the round. God knows you're not going to get 2 kills to refresh it. Glad we have him on the Yoru, man. I'm sure if we spent this time trying to have Demon1 learn Yoru, then he wouldn't have gotten better. God, even him on against G2 was better than this shit. But no, Xenom, you know, we're fighting. Tex dies, and after Tex dies, I mean, he's our Aspas at this point if Demon1 isn't on Jet, so it's just over. Let's run away, guys. Demon1's on the longest flank of all time that ends up meaning jack shit. because everyone on MIBR actually understands, well, if we've given them all this time on the flank, our KJ's dead, we need to group in here so that he can't get any free kills on the flank. I mean, this is just pathetic from Lev. And I really try. I think I've tried recently to not be like as hateful in my videos and stuff, but this, I can't help it. This is a pathetic excuse for Tier 1 Valorant. This is the pathetic excuse for a team surrounding Demon1. And this is a pathetic excuse for tactics. And again, they tweeted out, hey, I've had so many takes because I've literally been spitting in anger. I am like so pissed I can't speak straight. So I don't know if I've said this in the earlier takes that I ended up using. They tweeted out that we're still going to use this. This somehow solidified your opinion that the best option is to put Demon1 on solo Viper on Icebox. Lever ecoing here, semi-ecoing. Demon1 has a hero rifle, which does so much. But my main point here is, again, Lev made the comp MIBR. I don't know if they actually made it, but they utilized it for almost 2 years. They utilized it when Aspas was there. And MIBR are able to do this mid split here that works really well because you have that secondary smokes agent. He smokes back here when they do that. It gives you the flexibility to say, we can do different things than just go this site with smokes or go with no smokes. Again, Viper just does not work as solo controller on Icebox. There is no scenario where Viper works as solo controller on Icebox. I don't know why this team tried it. Like, roles aside, completely aside, it is a dumb thing to do, especially with a guy who can only play Jet. I mean, look at this. He's in a super aggressive angle, sees the drone, and then just gets shit on. Like, I'm not sugarcoating that. That was ass. King's final kill is on Aspas, who's jumping away in his spawn. This is his last kill the entire game, by the way. Like, I feel so bad for Tex, and to a lesser extent Rossi, because Rossi was doing very well. I don't think the tank was the issue, but Rossi has not been an issue, which is, you know, encouraging on a team that just seems entirely comprised of just failure after failure. But Tex has been very, very good. We end up wasting our Sova ult here, trying to get something. We get a tag on Artisan, which does, you know, jack diddly squat. I'm just tired, man. It feels like rooting for Demon1 is a kind of 3 stages of relationship, right? In EG, it's the honeymoon phase. You know, we're having a great time, we're laughing, you know, we're all the best of friends. And then on NRG, it's, you know, we're getting serious, we're having some problems, we're fighting a little bit. And then Lev is when you're calling the cops saying the pepperoni pizza is drunk and armed. That's what Lev feels like. Lev have a little trap play set up here, and I do apologize. King did get 1 more kill to end it at 6 kills on the round, if anyone's counting. 'Cause I know I am. And I do just want to say, because I'm sure I'll get a ton of comments, oh, you're just a hater, you're just a hater. I'm the biggest Demon1 glazer you will ever meet. Like, look at my channel, bro. Look. It's just that there's nothing you can do if every single team is not trying to utilize him properly, right? It seems very simple, and I get that there are other factors that go into stuff, right? I truly do, but he can't play Raze, okay? Put him on smokes for Raze. He can play Jet. Put him on Jet maps. I've solved it, guys. It's taken several coaching staffs, years and years. I've done it. I've cracked the code. I'm a genius. And, I mean, it's just sad, man, because he will go out sad like this, right? I truly believe that after this year, he will get cut. It may be at the end of stage 1. It may be at the end of the year. And then he's not going to get on another team. No tier 1 team will want him. I doubt he's going to want to go to tier 2. I just don't know, man. It's sad. It's very, very, like, really is sad to watch something like this. A talent just be squandered by mismanagement. And I mean, I'm not saying he's entirely blameless. Like, I'm sure that he has parts to do with it, right? You don't fall off that hard, like, aim-wise, just aim-wise. But it just does suck to see a talent of his level just get misused and mishandled. Lev are going to suck for the rest of the year. By the way, I doubt they beat C9. Let's put it that way. I'm scared about Furia. Like, do we realize how crazy of a statement that I'm scared that they will lose to Furia, the eternal punching bag of Americas? And I truly think that, like, if I'm not a betting man legally, but if betting odds came out and Furia wasn't favored, I would hammer that if I was a betting man, because this is just sad. This team does not play together, and I get that making the IGL switch to Rossi mid-season, which is not, I think, an optimal decision, but, you know, do your thing. I get that that's going to take time, but these roles that the coaches seem so adamant on, I just don't get it. They're not even, like, let's put everything aside. Let's say King played a decent Yoru in terms of kills. They don't even use the Yoru well. Now, you can't say whether or not that is, like, on because King's Yoru is bad or just because it's kind of a team thing. It just sucks. And I mean, you get these glimpses, right? Demon1 2K that they didn't show on broadcast, still a bit pissed about that. But Demon1 right here, you know, in the 1v1 situation, maybe he could do it, but he goes out like he's on Jet, completely abandons his pit. Like, he's ass on Viper. Let's be honest here. The one advantage you have is your pit, right? And he runs out like he's on Jet. I've seen him do this like hundreds of times before on Jet, where if he's in a 1v1, he's going to go out, try and find them because he has better aim than them. Well, A, I don't even know if you have better aim than him anymore. B, you're 1 HP. It's sad. Man, let's take a look at this last round before I go cry. If you take anything away from this video, I hope that it's this. Demon1 may be washed. It may be that he is completely cooked, give it up. But when you don't use him in a smart way, regardless of if he's washed or not, he's still better on Jet than Viper. He's still better on Yoru than King, whatever this 6 and 19 thing is. And I guarantee you, like from my soul, if they played the MIBR comp, then this team would have done a ton better than they did. They would have been able to win a defense round. They would have been able to actually fight instead of just sitting there and getting destroyed. And yeah, I hope that's what you get from this video. Hope you liked it. Make sure to subscribe if you've watched this long. I mean, we basically are in a relationship at this point. No one watches this long. So go ahead and subscribe. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. If you want some cool esports merch, go visit kikimori.com. Link in my description and hopefully in the pinned comment if I'm not asleep by the time I upload this because it's 5 in the morning. Use code LIONZ, LIONZ, for 20% off. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And I'll keep believing in my king till the day he retires.